Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are live for a coffee chat. The notification just went out, so we should have. Good morning, everybody. Facebook was being a little weird this morning, so I had to switch to a different device. Gotta love Facebook. Hi, Amy. Good morning, everyone. How are you? How is everybody this morning? Good morning, good morning, good morning. We'll let everybody catch up with the fact that we are live and all online. Good morning, Melissa, Fiona, Amy. Hello, hello. How is everybody this morning? Hello, Mary. Good morning, everyone. Amy, how are you? Buffy, hi. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Dodie, good morning. How are you? Sandra, Liz, hi. Good to see you all. Janet, good morning. For those of you that are, oh look, Noelle, you're back. She has my name. Hi, Barbara. Good morning. Tracy's here with us. Okay, so let me just start our podcast. Good morning to our podcast folks who listen after the fact. Okay, first of all, you can now type in revealingleaders.com and it will take you to everything that you need. Okay, so that's a good thing. Revealing Leaders is, it's not quite the new site yet, but we did make some, good morning, Angie. We did make some fixes to it, so you can now go to revealingleaders.com and you'll be able to watch the old shows on YouTube from there. You can link over, and you can find the podcasts from there, and you can link over, and you can subscribe to the newsletter. Everything you need to do. There's also a bunch of free downloads, and we will be adding to that section as we grow out this whole Revealing Leaders concept and brand. Good morning, Beth. Good morning, Kelly. Hello, everybody. Okay, so now you don't have to go a separate place to find the YouTube and a separate place to find the podcast. You can simply go to revealingleaders.com and it will take you everywhere that you might want to go with us. It will also give you our Instagram and our Pinterest and Twitter, all of that. Okay. So that being said, this morning we're just going to jump right in. For those of you that are new to Coffee Chat, we do a live show every Saturday morning at 8:30 a.m. and it is somewhat progressive. So if you have missed past Coffee Chats and I reference something, you are welcome to go back. And as I said, you can now find them. If you just type in revealingleaders.com, it will take you where you need to go so that you can see all the past shows. They are also live on our Facebook page in the video section of Facebook, okay? So you can find them anywhere. So Coffee Chat is somewhat progressive. If I do reference something and I don't go into that much detail and I say it was covered in a past Coffee Chat, you can find it in our archives. So this morning we're going to talk about how somebody can't upset you unless you let them. I have some team members here from Delta Hire. They flew in, and Trace, you don't have to drop that anchor link anymore. You can just send them to Revealing Excellence, and they can find everything they need from there. We have some team members in from Miami for Delta Hire. As those of you that watch me all the time, you know I have two companies that I'm associated with, which is my job. Three. I am the Director of Project Management for Bryn Law in Miami. I am the CEO of Delta Hire, which is a staffing, recruiting, and workforce development and leadership development company. And I am also the founder and CEO of Fortunato Partners, which is a full-fledged business solutions company, which my son runs. And I just kind of watch over and help direct. So, that being said, some team members are here from Delta Hire this weekend, so it's been a little crazy. I have been up since 5. My son is here. He's an excellent chef, and he is doing a barbecue for them later on this afternoon, and he's been here since 5 a.m. to smoke a brisket in the smoker. So we've been shuffling people around, up late, up early, and having a great time with everyone that flew in from Miami. It's a nice break for them. It's beautiful up here in Vermont. So now down to the nuts and bolts. People can't upset you unless you let them. People can't piss you off unless you let them. So when you are in an argument with somebody, like a significant other or a boyfriend, girlfriend, child, and you're doing that whole like texting back and forth thing, and they're saying stuff to you, and you're getting all upset, and you're getting all like, and even at work, none of that can happen unless you allow it. I could literally come up in your presence. I could call you every name in the book. I could say all kinds of awful stuff to you, and you could simply sit there and not react and say, wow, I'm sorry that you feel that way, Noelle. That's really unfortunate. And that would be the end of it. But that's never what happens, right? People say stuff and we get fired up, or something happens and we roll up our sleeves and we get right in there and we're like, you son of a, how dare you? Who do you think you are? None of that can happen unless you let it. If a significant other does something awful and starts a whole thing with you, you have the ability to not react. You have the ability to observe the behavior, choose whether or not to engage at that moment. That's all on you. That's your choice. I'm going to tell you something my grandfather told me a long time ago. People do stuff to get your attention. They pull stupid shit. They act up. They push buttons. They do it all to get attention. Or they want to get a rise out of you. So you have the ability to shut that down. If I want to bother you and disturb your peace, and I know you well, or I'm in a relationship with you, I know exactly what I have to do or say to fire you up, right? So if my goal is to irritate you or upset you or throw you off your game or get you to pay attention to me instead of whatever it is that you're doing, I know exactly which song buttons to push on the jukebox to get you fired up, right? I push A2 and I get this reaction out of you. I push C4, whoo, and you're gone. I do D6, now you're off and running, right? Tracy's saying poke the bear. We know. People know what to do, especially if they're close to us. Those people are the worst. They know how to fire us up the worst. Now, you have the ability to shut that down. You have the ability to observe how pissed off you are, how upset you are, how annoyed you are, and not respond to them, not react, not respond to them. You have that ability, okay? If I am in a relationship with you or something, right? And and you are, I don't know, you know that if you talk to so-and-so at the grocery store, that's going to piss me off. And you come home and you want to irritate me because, I don't know, you're irritated with me and you want me to be irritated now with you. And you're like, guess who I saw at the grocery store? Okay? Now, I have the ability to read what you're typing to me and do nothing. When someone's trying to irritate you and piss you off, the best thing that you can do is shut up and say nothing. Say nothing. Because then they are just beside themselves, right? They can't figure out why it's not working. They don't know why you're not saying anything. And then they're going to get super nervous because they're trying to figure out what's happening, right? They're trying to figure out why you didn't respond like you normally do. Did they like, uh-oh. my grandfather, as I was saying before, used to say the best way to irritate somebody that's trying to irritate you is to do nothing, is to say nothing, is to not respond. Silence is huge in the game of pushing the buttons on the jukebox. When someone wants to annoy you and they're like, oh, I know it's going to piss her off. I'm going to do this. And then that doesn't work. And it's like, well, I'm going to try this. And then I'm going to try that. You have to be so committed to your peace and your equilibrium that you just make a decision not to let it bother you. And it's not to say that you won't do something about whatever they've done or whatever the circumstances. It's just to say that in that moment where they're texting you and they're firing away and now you're texting them, and I see this all the time with younger people, right? I'm 53, so the whole texting thing is sort of new. You know, my husband and I, honestly, we don't text that much. Hey, Lake George, Jude, is only a couple hours from here, you know. Jude's with us. She's at Lake George. So when they're doing that whole texting back and forth and, you know, they're texting and you're texting and they're texting and you're texting and they're texting and you're texting. It's like, why? Why are you doing that? In my day, it used to be hanging up the phone, right? You'd like, boom. It's kind of a, you know, you can't like make that smash when you hang up on anyone anymore because it's just a cell phone disconnect. It's not the same. It's not. I used to get, I'm Italian, I would get great satisfaction from like slamming down the phone on someone that pissed me off. That was, you know, when I was younger, I was extremely reactive, by the way. So I know what I'm talking about when I'm telling you this. I'm going to be 53 in a couple of weeks. And it's taken me like so much communications training and so much learning, you know, as a leader and a manager and a C-suite and a single mom and just all of it. And obviously personal development study and everything. And I've learned that nobody can upset me unless I let them. Nothing can steal your peace unless you allow it. No thing, no person, no place, no action, you know? It can't, people will say, oh, but they said this. So? Well, they called me an asshole. So? So? I mean, when you see what, you know what I'm saying? When you can like get yourself out of the fishbowl and kind of go up here and be like, and kind of looking at it like a third party, you know, at your own life, like you can see the dance. You can see the game, right? It's funny, like when you remove yourself, because they know what, if they know you well, they know what pisses you off and pushes your buttons. And those people are the worst. But then other people, like, okay, let's just take driving on the highway, for instance, right? And, you know, you're driving and then you see someone like have a reaction that is so like, oh my goodness. My husband is, and I think he's watching from upstairs. We live in Vermont. People go slow, or they go super fast on the back roads, right? And so he comes from Boston and Cape Cod, and he was a FedEx driver for 31 years. So he's like, observes the rules of the road to the nth degree, okay? He's like this. So here in Vermont, on the back roads, like, if you're going the speed limit, people will, like, there's some people that go, you know, the speed limit on a particular back road is 50 miles an hour. And some people, like, go 70 miles an hour on that road because I don't know, they're just in a catastrophic hurry to get wherever they're going. And, you know, so when those people come up behind him and then they pass him, he'll be doing, like, 50 and they'll be doing, like, 70 and they blow past him. He's better. He's getting better. But he gets, like, he gets super mad, right? He gets real, and I just look at him and I say, what do you care? Like, what do you care that they passed you? What does it matter? Why? Why do you get so mad? Well, because they don't observe the rules of the road, and and I'm like, so what? So what? Who cares? Who cares if 60 cars pass you? Who cares? Right? If someone calls you an asshole, who cares? If somebody gives you the finger and cuts you off, so what? They're obviously rude. They obviously have an issue. Why then do you have to have an issue? Because they have an issue. Nobody can steal your peace unless you let them. Nobody can upset you while you're driving in the car unless you allow it. Nobody can drop a bomb in the middle of your day unless you let them. Okay? So you are allowing yourself to be reactivated by whatever the hell they're doing. And what I want you to think about this week is why? Why are you going to ruin your day because somebody has done something or said something to irritate you? My husband's commenting the tortoise always wins. See, he is watching from upstairs. Hopefully I'm not going to get in trouble now. Anyway, he has a sense of humor about it. God bless him. He's like the most patient person on the planet, let me just tell you. Living with me is no picnic. Tracy is reminding us that our whole reason for shifting into revealing leaders is to remind you that you're the leader of your own life. You're the leader of your attitude. You're the leader of your actions. You're the leader of your responses. You are the leader of your life. So start watching how people are trying to steal your peace and how you're letting them. When let's say you're going along, you're having a really good day, everything's working and clicking, right? And then somebody does something. You get a text from somebody, or somebody gets a hair across their ass, or somebody cuts you off on your way to work, whatever. Why are you going to ruin your day because somebody else is an asshole? Why? Why does that have to affect your day? Why does that have to steal your peace? Why does that have to mess with your mojo and your equilibrium? You have the power over your life. You're the leader of your life. You get to call the shots. You get to say what affects you and what doesn't affect you. That ball is in your court. Krista's asking, what is a good method to stop in the moment and readjust your path? Krista, excellent question. I find, especially when it's someone that really can reactivate us, first of all, being conscious of something is your first step to changing it, right? You have to recognize that it's happening in order to be able to shift it at all. So I'm hoping with this conversation this morning, it will at least bring this to your attention, right? You will now have the ability to take a moment when you get that text, that email, that letter in the mail, that phone call, that action of someone cutting you off on the whatever it is. When that occurs, I want you to just take a pause and realize that you now have a choice. You have a choice to react in kind, which is going to lead you down a path that is just going to take a lot of your time, attention, and energy. Or you can do nothing in that moment and just let it roll off your back, right? I use Teflon as an example. Just be Teflon. Let it roll. If you have someone that systematically behaves badly and you continue to react to it, you are just like giving them the license to keep doing it because they're getting the attention of your reaction. If you have someone that behaves badly, even like a boss or something, if they just have a short temper or they're rude, whatever the case may be, silence in that case is an excellent way to handle that. Because when someone comes up in front of, like, in your space, let's just say someone comes and they've got a hair across their ass and now they're going to, someone's asking me, how do I stop a relationship of an irritating spouse verbally? So again, you have the ability to not respond or react, right? So if someone comes up in your space and they're being a complete asshole and they're being rude and they're just, being icky, you can just get silent and quiet and say nothing and end the call or end the conversation. Now you've left them with all their bullshit. So someone comes up in your face and they're like, blah, 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 and you just stand there and you do nothing and you don't react at all, and you just say, oh, I got it. Huh, okay. And then just turn around and walk away or hang up the phone. Now that person is left with all their bullshit because they're on the other end of the phone. They can usually work you up, and usually it's a fight or whatever happens, right? And now you ended it. You left them with it. They're just either on the other end of the phone or they're standing there with the big mess that they just made, and you're out. You're gone. Mic drop. See you later. Now they're left with it. Now they have to look at their behavior because they didn't get a reaction out of you like they usually do. They didn't get you all worked up. They didn't get you all fired up. You just walked away or you just hung up. Very powerful to do that. Beth is reminding us, let their words be the last thing they hear. Correct. And not in a rude way. Okay? That's the important piece. So they come up in your space or they get on the phone and they go through their whole thing. You're an asshole, you did this, you did that, I'm blah, 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 and you just say, I got it. Okay, see you later. Hang up. By you saying I got it, you're acknowledging that you received the communication. You're not agreeing with it, you're not supporting it, you're letting them know that their nonsense was heard. That's it. You're out. See you later. When you leave them with that, as Beth just said, when they're reflecting on what happened, they have no choice but to reflect on how badly they behaved. It's a powerful tool. Your silence and your taking yourself away is a very powerful response. You don't have to have, that's all ego, thinking that you have to fight back and you need to say something and you got to have the last word and who do they think they are. That's all your ego, man. And that's no different than the bullshit that they're trying to put on you. That's all ego, all that. How dare they speak to me that way? Who do they think they are? Who cares? The way that they spoke to you is a reflection of them, not of you. If you choose to stay on the other end of the phone or in their face and engage with their nonsense, that's on you. Just walk away. And you don't have to say anything. You don't have to say, you're an asshole. Just say, I got it. Huh. And walk away. Try it. See what happens. So we're going to do our swag bag giveaway. We just sent the other ones out from last week. We sent them out on Friday. They were a little late because all the stuff that's going on this week with work. So the first 3 people to email me a place where you are going to watch watch how you're reacting, where you are going to just do something different, where you're going to make a change in how you handle someone trying to push your buttons. The first 3 people to email me 1 or 2 places or relationships where you're going to do that, or tell me where you see it in your life. We'll send you guys a free bag of swag. Tracy's dropping my email address. Please include your mailing address with what you email me with your commentary. And again, your mailing address, please. And the first 3 people to email me a circumstance, a place, a situation where you're going to quell your reactivity and where you're going to choose to not participate when someone's trying to annoy you. Okay, this week you're going to watch for that, right? You're going to take a real look at where are you reacting when you could just be taking yourself out and not engaging with nonsense. So watch yourself this week. Stop engaging with people that are trying to irritate you. Stop giving your time, attention, your power, and your energy to people that don't deserve it and situations that don't deserve it. Protect your peace and your equilibrium. Okay, so first 3 people to email me, go check out revealingleaders.com. You can find the podcast there. You can find the old coffee chat shows there. You can find everything that you need at revealingleaders.com. You can also find all of our other social media links. We're everywhere. Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, all of it. Okay, we're going to say goodbye to our podcast people. And Facebook fam, always good to see you and be with you. We'll see you bright and early next Saturday morning at 8:30. Watch yourself this week, right? Pay attention. You're the leader of your life, so don't let people lead you down a path that you don't want to go. That's all your choice. Make it a great week. See you soon.